What's up, y'all? So it's been a minute since I've got a vlog out. Life's just been crazy. I think like back a little bit, I talked about being in a different class with the fire department. Well, I'm in a new class now. This class kind of runs mostly through March, but there's some days in April, one day in May. It's kind of drawn out. But I've got that, and wedding planning has hit me square in the face that we have just been busy on a bunch of other days. And I applied to another fire department. This is a Charlotte shirt, but I applied to a local fire department to work part-time to fill in my gaps on some of my other days and get more experience in life of the fire service. But anyways, I am sitting here on my four-wheeler in my garage, my unfinished garage, and was putting together this little video. Well, this is a long video, but reason being is we're gonna get this one out, which is training about a week-ish leading into, or maybe about a week and a half leading into my next Highland, or the Highland Games I just did, which will be another vlog I'll probably put out tomorrow, try to put it all together and put out tomorrow, of recapping the Camden Irish Fest Highland Games I did on March 5th. Same weekend as the Arnold, Panama City, there was Phoenix, there's a lot of games that weekend. Cool to see the year kind of get kicked off. But wanted to get this vlog out before I got that footage out, and I'm out here thanks to one of my bros, Nick Aston, got me motivated, if he happens to watch this, to throw some sheaf. So it's like 8 o'clock at night, finished dinner, sitting around, I'm like, Nick threw some sheaf today, I'm gonna throw some sheaf today. So I'm gonna voice over the whole video. It's like, this is gonna be like a 12-minute vlog, but you're gonna see a lot of training, a lot of throws. I don't even remember all of it, but I'm gonna kind of watch it with you again and kind of talk through maybe some of the things that I've been working on or thinking of. So here it is, hope you enjoy. So since this is also going to be a long video, I'm not gonna go through and mute all the individual clips of all their volume, so you may hear some stuff. It may be harder to hear me talking. I'll try to talk over this and make sure I talk pretty loud. This day turned into a marathon throwing session. I think was probably about, I mean, it went pretty quick. I maybe got an hour, hour and a half. So started with some lightweight. I just had this mood. Like I showed up at the gym and I was like, I'm gonna throw today. One thing I did change was a little bit of my cast angle, which is throwing some timing off with some of these, ending up with a little body lean. And I'm still continuing to work on my right foot. I'm now about 2 weeks after this, and I just did a very, very easy practice yesterday trying to turn my right foot at the front. And let's just say it didn't go well. So you'll see that vlog coming up here in a couple days. I'm kind of a little behind. But these went really well in the grand scheme. I think one of them tied a lifetime practice PR and kind of goes uphill there at the very end. So it was a good day out the gate. I was like, man, this feels good. I'm not going all out, and they're still going. I mean, I could probably still have put a little bit more into these throws. But we threw, I think, like 8 or 10 lightweights. And obviously I go, and just some different tips and tricks throughout this video. I go with no toe board a lot of the time in practice until I'm getting ready for games. And the reason being, it's not worth risking turning my ankle there at the front of the turf. So something you may see a couple fouls stepping over. You know, sometimes it's going to happen. Not the end of the world, not the biggest thing to worry about, but it's that was probably the big one right there, and watching my facial expression. And then I went to the heavyweight, and this was a little bit of a mixed bag. Still ended up pretty good today, but a little more inconsistent from what I normally am. And I noticed I pulled the hell out of that one. And I think there's another practice in this that I had recently where I was not happy with my heavyweights at all. They were very, very inconsistent. I'm still throwing the wob length weight, that 56, the short chain. I'm going to one of these days go buy a new shackle and cut that shackle. But like I said, things have been busy. In fact, this week that I've been off, and including going back to the week before the Camden Irish Fest, I've had multiple days where I've had double physicals because of my current job, and then my new job, it's pre-employment physical stuff. So doctor's appointments, like 2 doctor's appointments in a day, spread out. It's been a jam. Plus, let's add weddings meetings. So through the heavyweight, and like I said, it wasn't the best, it wasn't terrible. And I went in and threw, I think 3, maybe, I don't know how many. This is the 49, so you see the longer chain, it moves a little bit faster. It just doesn't, these just don't look good to me. I just wasn't super happy with how this went that day. And then I had them there, and I don't think I've actually shared any video yet, but I've been trying to learn the full spin and the stone, and that's terrible. So this is my failed attempt. I'm putting these in there because it's going to be funny to look back at one day if I actually get good at this thing, to see how bad it was. So that's what these are for. So maybe don't take anything away from my full spins yet, other than they suck. Maybe don't know how I did them. And And then I went and did a couple MSAs because I just wanted to like, hey, let me feel like a normal athlete. And they actually went pretty good. I kind of walked them off. I didn't measure them, and went pretty good. Something you never and rarely see from me is wob footage. And I think on this day, I ended up clearing 14 feet in practice, which is good for me. I'm not a big wob thrower in practice. I struggle to clear 14 feet, which is Ty's my personal best. I've come very close to clearing 15. No hiding my inabilities at wob. I just don't know how to transfer power. Don't know how to transfer force in this event. I feel like I'm trying everything, throwing a lot, throwing at lists, throwing light, throwing heavy, blah, blah, blah. Now, one thing I did learn on this day, I tried to throw my 49, which I can't shorten enough, and the video clip is in here. Do not throw a long weight with wob or you're going to hit the ground, and it feels terrible if you smack the ground as hard as I do in this video clip coming up here, the last wob one I throw. So tried at 49, and because I couldn't get short enough, that was the end of that. And it was throwing off my timing and all that. But somehow, some way, I've talked with multiple people. Apparently, I'm strong enough, can lift enough, Olympic lift enough, whatever it would be, but cannot put it into the wob weight. I've not figured it out. Of course, my very first day throwing it, I never thought I'd clear 10 or 12 feet. And here I am, we're clearing 14. So keep at it. If you're struggling with it, you got to throw it a lot. This is the one. Ugh. God, it hurt. It did not feel good. So later that week, front squats. It might have been the next day. Front squats at the firehouse. Worked pretty heavy. This was fours. I did fours working up, a beltless set, and then worked up to 365 for 4, which was a lifetime PR, I'm fairly certain. So the front squats actually been moving good. They don't feel great. They don't. The video looks a little. I'm not pleased with my back position, but hey, they happen. Oh look, you can hardly see the video because of how I record. Hot dog, not hamburger, whatever, however you orient your phone. This is low budget here, people. I'm filming everything with my phone. After that, next day is probably back at the gym. I started with some sandbag tosses. Like I said, doing everything for wob. This is a 60-pound sandbag. I think I did like 3, 4, 5 sets, 6 sets of 5 here, or I think it was 5s. Throwing, just getting kind of reps in. This is a 60-pound sandbag. I can't quite hit the ceiling with it yet, but that's all we're doing is reps on reps on reps. The sandbag doesn't mimic it perfectly, in my opinion. One, it's 2 hands, not one. The handle's a little bigger, the bag's a little bigger. I have to have my feet a little wider, knees a little wider. So it's not perfect, but it allows me to do something in the gym if your gym has the height. So this day was kind of my dynamic effort day, and what I did the last 2 weeks leading into the games is I did kind of a circa max phase, which if you go to conjugate lifting is kind of a lot of accommodating resistance and less less bar weight. In a nutshell, more than normal, but I've also been doing some French contrast templates with it. So we had the heavy squat where we add a chain each set. We have the hurdle hops. We have trap bar jumps with that looks like 60 kilos on there, and then I do band assisted jumps for this. And you'll see I put all 4 sets in here. This first week I used the camber bar, if you see over there, the green bands, and then we added a chain each set, and I did 4 doubles here. The weight felt heavy, but watching the squats, they moved better than they felt. I was kind of happy with that, and I think I left the video long for all of these just so I can talk about it a little bit more. But in a circa max phase, and you know, everybody does things differently when it comes to conjugate or west side, etc. What I've done is I've done 3-week speed waves, or I've done speed waves where I've mimicked my max effort work, yada yada. But this phase, what I decided to do is take the bar weight down and add those green bands and then add the chain. So I'm probably, I wouldn't say double the accommodating resistance total tension at the top than there is bar weight, but it might be kind of close. It's definitely not double because I'm not holding 900 at the top with 300 bar weight, but it is probably at least equal, close to 300 tension plus chain, you know, accommodating resistance at the top with 300 bar weight. Something like that. I mean, all the chains aren't on off the ground, so I don't really count it at a certain amount of weight. What I just know is I went from 2 chains, 3 chains, 4 chains, 5 chains. I did all that. Just look at Levi playing with his belly there. I hope this isn't, then nobody's talked about anything bad. But I add the chain weight for my sets, and we get up to something that feels really heavy. Now, the following week, I swapped out and did the same exact thing, but the band tension was heavier on the squat bar. I used orange bands or light bands instead of the green Monster Mini bands. And then something else you've seen me do a lot. Well, I haven't posted it, but I've been doing a lot. If you see Cody, my trainer down there, was doing a med ball throw. We've been doing a lot more med ball throws.
0.76.
Jerk blocks. And then this is
Off-bar detected. Ending
speed
set.
deadlifts. Was following those squats. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention. The speed deadlifts rock into a double kettlebell swing. And I changed up swinging between my legs and doing suitcase swings outside my legs. But I think this was like, I probably did 8 to 10 sets of that. And then I think this is a day or two later. I'm at the firehouse. I decided to do hang snatches that day, or power. Well, that was a power. So started with some hangs. That was a power, and then I think it's a hang power. I've been doing a lot more power variations lately and not doing the pulls just because of how much other lower body work you've seen me do, at least just in this video. So I'm taking kind of that catch out. This was a power snatch into a hang snatch. And I can't remember if this is the day I did it as an EMOM. I don't think it was. I think I just worked up heavy this day. I've done some light. We're lucky to have the bumper plates at my firehouse when I'm there, that I did these. And this was just trying to move weight fast, trying to work hangs. I've been in kind of a phase of hangs. Like if I'm doing a power, then I'll do a hang after that, or then just sets of hangs. And what I'm trying to do is mimic that wob pull in my head. The bar is in my hands. I'm loading down and then throwing the wob up. It's kind of what I like the hang variation for. But what I might do in my next phase is go back to some block lifts to work just pure power, pure explosiveness from a static position, as well as give the low back a break. That's kind of what I'll use some blocks for in my Olympic lifts. So I know I'm rambling a lot. This is a long video. Oh, I forgot about these. So the Dr. Zach Riley was doing some close grip snatches. If you have the opportunity, throw the barbell overhead with this movement. I just happened to try to work up to something. I was kind of playing around with it after my normal snatches and was like, hey, let's see how these actually feel. Cue there, keep your thumbs out of the way. You have to like put them along the bar. Don't wrap your thumbs around the bar. Yeah, I made that mistake once and I'll never do it again. But I think I worked up to 155 pounds or 70 kilos for a single here. And then we moved on to power clean doubles. And these actually felt pretty good that night. Actually, the last 2 times I've done Olympic lifts at the firehouse here, the powers have felt pretty good. I think I did EMOMs another day after this. I don't know if it's in this video or no. I definitely know it because I went live, so I don't have the recording. But we did some EMOMs that one day. I think I did power snatch double EMOMs, and then I did power clean singles or doubles EMOM, and they've been feeling really good. At least the power cleans up to about 125 kilos are feeling really, really good. So 275 pounds. I'd like to see them creep a little bit heavier than that. This is this. Pull fest. There's 550 deadlift. So well, if you actually made it to the very end of this video, I cut myself off there because I forgot there was no more footage. It culminated in Pull Fest, which was a charity event. We raised over $1,100 for continuing the mission, which was an awesome. I didn't expect that much out of it. It was supposed to be a smaller event and blew it out of the water. I ended up pulling 550 that day, which was more than planned. I was trying to go maybe 520. Things moved good. Strike when the iron's hot. We had 550 and shut it down there. Looked like a little more in the tank, but no need. It was still more than I had already planned. And Pull Fest, and then we had another week of I think 2 or 3 more training days before. I just obviously forgot to video some of the stuff before we went into the Camden Irish Fest. So it was a pretty rough couple weeks of training, pretty hard. Took the last 2 days off before Camden just to try to recover up some, and off training, that is. Still have work, but man, it went well. Camden went well. You'll see that video next. If you guys have literally watched this far, you're too good of fans. I try to do this to give back to the Highland Games community, the strength sport community, sharing my thoughts, my ideas, what I'm doing, what works for me, what doesn't. If you like it, please leave me some comments. Let me know what you want to see more of. Don't forget, if you happen to watch this in like the first 3 days of me posting it, we have a throwing clinic coming up this Sunday, March 13th, 2022. And just let me know what we can do. Let's push Highland Games further. If you really made it this far, you really do care. I feel about the Highland Games, not just this guy, yours truly, but let's push this games. Let's push content. Let's push knowledge. Let's push practices. Let's push competition further. And I'm going to probably do a post on that right now.